And we're back. Thanks for stopping by. It's our Chicago real estate market update from Center Coast Realty. It has been a wild year here in Chicago real estate, and just when you thought you knew what was happening, things are taking a little bit of a turn. We'll tell you about that in a few minutes, as well as what it means for you. But first, before we get started, as always, we're about to break down the whole Chicagoland market for you, but every little market within that is different. So what's going on in Lakeview is going to be different than Arlington Heights, which is going to be different from Oak Park, which will be different from Wilmette. So if you want to know what's going on in your community or your neighborhood, just fill out that form below, put in your name, email, neighborhood or community that you are interested in. We will handcraft a report for you on exactly what's going on. So if you liked this kind of analysis that you hear today, you can get just the same thing for your neighborhood of choice. All right, let's get into it. So like I said, it's halftime. We're halfway through the year. Are we starting to witness the turning of the tide? Let's run the numbers first and see what's going on so far. Median prices is where we always start. Overall for the Chicagoland area, they were up 8% in the first half of the year. That's right, 8% in half a year. That's quite a bit. The city of Chicago is up 5.4% in the first half of the year, nothing to sneeze at. Downtown, we're only up about 1.8%. Not terrible for half of a year, if we're being honest, just compared to the rest of the market. It seems like a little bit less. And what's going on there? That's inventory, folks. There's a lot more for sale downtown than there is in the rest of the market because a lot of people put their homes on the market last year and couldn't sell them. There's plenty of demand, as we'll talk about in just a second, just a lot more homes for sale. So let's talk about that demand. Overall, in the Chicagoland market year-to-date, demand, as measured by the number of homes that go under contract, is up about 26% over this time period last year. In the city of Chicago, it's up closer to 50%, 49% to be exact. Downtown, demand is up 80% in the first half of the year compared to last year. And if that sounds like just the opposite of what I said a second ago about median prices, then you're starting to get my hint of what I'm talking about, that things might be changing a little bit. So looking at contracts, the record for the most homes that went under contract in a single month was set all the way back in April of 2016, more than 5 years ago. This year, in 2021, that record has been broken 3 times already. In March, April, and May, it was almost broken again in June. The June contracts number is still one of the best months on record, going back 13 years to 2008. So demand is still pretty high, although it is starting to creep down seasonally. Overall, for the Chicagoland area, number of homes for sale is down about 35%. We're starting to compare, if that number doesn't sound like as big of a drop as it did in months past, that's because we're starting to compare busy months of this year to busy months of last year. So June of this year, there was a shortage of inventory. We were already seeing that shortage of inventory in June of last year. And it is down about 53% compared to June of 2019. But it's starting to creep back up. So in the overall Chicagoland market, we're starting to see a few more homes left for sale at the end of each month than we did a couple of months ago. So I think we're starting to see people maybe are not quite so concerned about putting their homes on the market. There's probably some profit taking. I think there's a bit of a sense that if you're gonna sell your home in the next couple of years, you might as well do it now while everything's so crazy. In the city of Chicago, there were fewer homes for sale at the end of June, but only about 6% fewer than there were this time last year. Downtown, there were more homes for sale, up about 12%. So not a huge jump for either of those, huge change for either of those. But here's the interesting thing. Downtown, the number of homes for sale is starting to head back down. Okay, so this usually doesn't happen until Q4, but we're already seeing that the demand that we've seen for downtown that we just talked about is starting to work through that inventory that built up last year and actually in the years leading up to it. So again, things are starting to shift a little bit. So like I said, it's halftime for 2021. What have the first 6 months taught us, and what do we think is going to happen in the next 6 months? We've been kind of predicting this for a while. About a year ago, this narrative took hold that downtown is dead. Well, a couple of days ago, the New York Times reported that Manhattan real estate prices have hit an all-time high. So it doesn't seem like downtowns in general are dead. As for what's going on in Chicago, people always leave cities because they're expensive here, and eventually people want more space. So at a certain point, they sell their condo in Chicago, they buy a house in the suburbs. It's the Chicago real estate circle of life. But what's going to happen next year when you want to go buy a condo in the city of Chicago? There's a decent chance that the people who would have sold you that condo next year already sold it to somebody else at a discounted price in 2021. What happens if you want to sell your single family home in the suburbs next year or the year after? There's a decent chance that the people who would have bought your home already bought your neighbor's home this year. So in the second half of this year, you're going to see the suburban market remain a strong seller's market, but it's going to start tipping back toward buyers. And you're going to see the downtown market remain a strong buyer's market, but it's going to start tipping back towards sellers. And in between, in kind of those more residential neighborhoods of Chicago, it's going to be a little bit of a mix. Depends on the neighborhood. So again, fill out that form below and we'll let you know what's going on there. Some of them are very strong sellers markets, some of them a little bit more buyers markets. By 2023, we are going to see a flip. We're going to see a very sleepy suburban market and a red hot downtown market because things will have shifted and there's going to be inventory shortages downtown and inventory surpluses in the suburbs. Could happen a little bit sooner, could happen a little bit later, probably not. We'll have to wait and see. I'm just one guy with some graphs, but that's my prediction for 2022 and 2023. We'll have to keep checking in here for our real estate market update to see if I'm right. There we go. That's the real estate market update for July 2021. Again, if you want to know what's going on in your neighborhood, fill out that form below, name, email, and the neighborhood or community that you're interested in. We'll send you that handcrafted report straight to your inbox. Don't forget to like our video or subscribe to get the reminder for next month when we'll be back with another Chicago real estate market update. Can't wait. We'll see you then.